and gentlemen, welcome back to podcastjuice.net. My name is Michael Dean, and you are joining us on the podcast about Prince, aka the Prince Podcast. We got a special guest today. We have the one and only DJ Rashida. How are you?
I am beautiful. I'm doing wonderful today. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Sound like you like in the summer. I picture you in the middle of like some trees and the sunshine. I got the birds chirping in the back.
Basically, yeah, we're sitting out on the porch right now.
Word.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we're amongst the birds.
And just to tell the listeners, so your little one, you at home, your mother doing your thing. So we appreciate that.
I am a mommy.
That's right.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I have a 5-year-old, so do expect to have her be a part of this interview.
That's right. That's all right.
That's definitely going to happen.
Okay. Well, I want to just start at the top for me. Now, I've never met you before. I've seen you in person when you guys came. When I say you guys, you and Prince and everyone came to Seattle a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like you guys did like an after party thing. I remember seeing you up there. But I wanted so this is the Prince Podcast, so we're gonna talk about some Prince stuff, but we're also gonna talk about some hip hop and some DJ type of stuff. So I want to start things by asking you off though for the audience. When did you first meet Prince? Take us to that.
I met Prince at the House of Blues in October of 2004.
Okay.
I was the resident DJ in the Foundation Room on the weekends at House of Blues. And, as fate would have it, he did all his after parties in the room right next door to the Foundation Room, the Parish Room. Sorry, I'm out of breath now. I just have to run down the stairs. And it was during the musicology tour. I know, but he was doing after parties there. And I remember he even did, he did some type of after jam, one of his late night things actually at the House of Blues one night, because I remember that was thrilling. I was definitely in there as like an employee, through the kitchen, so yeah, that was exciting. But yep, that's when it all went down.
So you, to that initial meeting, like, was it just like a, hey, what's up type thing? Or how far did it take between when you started actually, clicking up and working with him?
So in October actually that was the first party that I ever did for him. Okay. Was in October of 2004. And basically I had gotten a call from the House of Blues saying that he had requested me to play one of his after parties. And, at that point I already knew that he was coming next door and doing the parties. Sorry.
No, so
my train of thought.
Saying that he requested you to come and work?
Oh, yes. Which, I mean, I think I ran around my house like in a circle and, called my mom and, I was so thrilled. And then most recently, come to find out, Ruth Arzadi is the one who actually hired me. And because she and I have been talking and connecting the dots lately. And she was like, I'm the one who hired you. And I was like, oh, amazing. Bless you. So, yeah, so that's how it started. And basically, I mean, the very first time I met him was at the first party that I played there in the Parish Room for him. And, man, it just felt very organic. I mean, I remember leading up to that gig, the folks at the House of Blues who obviously, he had already been doing stuff there for a minute. And, somebody said, don't look him in the eye. And somebody else said, don't do this. And somebody else said, oh, you should play this. And, all this stuff. And, I'm just so happy that I did me, because it ended up I'll put it like this. I'm in there waiting for the party to come, and he's the first person who comes in, and I'm just playing, my records, my stuff, which at the time was not radio, not top 40, not, not what basically everybody, all my friends in the industry had told me, like, Rashida, if you want to, I was in the underground, you know, and people were telling me, hey, if you want to start really making money as a DJ, if you want to play the Hollywood parties, if you want to, you know, basically be in the industry, do shit in the industry.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you curse?
Yes, you can.
Sorry. Okay. Basically, like, if you want to get on that level, you have to start playing commercial music. You have to start playing what's hot and what's on the radio. And that was just not me at the time. And so I was playing a lot of rare groove and funk and soul and disco. And now I look back on it and I'm like, man, you know, none of it, it was all just exactly, you know, it all connected. And so anyway, I'm in the party, he comes in and he came up to me and I was playing my records, and right away he started talking to me about the music. And it just felt, you know, now going back to everybody saying, oh, don't look at him and don't do this and don't do that. Man, it was so organic. He was so cool, first of all. Like, he was so freaking cool. Mm-hmm. And that was it. We just started talking and, like, that was it. It was just, It was organic. I felt like, I don't know. I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And sure enough, that would prove to be the case. So
was it like the expectations you thought, like, this is Prince and superstar guy, but then the person that you actually meet, it's like, oh, it can really, he can chop it up with this dude. You know, it's not it wasn't those things. I don't know. Was he what you thought he was going to be?
I didn't have any expectations, but I will say, like, I had his poster on my wall, right? I had two posters. I had the Purple Rain poster, and then I had the
don't say the controversy.
The Dirty Mind. Yes, the controversy poster.
The shower poster?
The shower one.
Hilarious.
Yes, which, by the way, my cousin, which if he hears this, he's going to laugh. He would come up to my spot, and every time he'd walk in, he would see that poster and be like, Rashida, can you please take that shit down? Like, please take it down, you know? But anyhow, but I just remember thinking, like, that was Tribe, and, like, especially, you know, the poster with him and the Revolution. I just always felt like, I don't know. I just always felt like that was my people. So I didn't really have any expectations. I mean, I was very excited, you know, but I didn't think, I don't know. I don't know that I expected anything. I was just, you know, excited and felt like, yeah, this is,
man. So
it just made sense to me.
So this is interesting. So you had the Purple Rain concert. I mean, not concert, but the Purple Rain album poster and that controversy. And this, and you had that in 2000s. You had that on your wall. Is that what you're saying? Or
oh, first of all, you know, it's so great. I looked back at some photos from my college dorm. I went to art school in Atlanta. Okay. And that's when I first got my turntables. And it's just one of those things, like, I didn't even really remember that I had it that long, but I had the Purple Rain poster up, like, with my original DJ setup, 1998, you know, everything, my records and my messy dorm. And there's, like, you know, this poster, and I saw that and I said, wow, you know, because at the time you don't think that, well, I wasn't thinking about manifesting any of that. It wasn't a thought in my mind, you know, but it was always there, you know, his energy and that
it's very interesting,
you know, that world, it was there. I just didn't, you know, I hadn't manifested it yet, hadn't stepped into it yet.
Wow.
But yeah.
Now, you went to school in Atlanta. Is that where you're from? Or where are you from?
I did. No, I'm kind of from all over the place. I was born in Los Angeles. Okay. And this is where my father's side is from. So all my dad's side is here. Go ahead, baby. Just look.
You're from the West Coast.
West side.
So did you come up like in Cali area, LA?
Sorry. So so LA, I was in here when I was little, and then I moved to New Mexico, which is where my mother is from. And I was there until 13 years old. And then my dad basically picked me up and took me to Atlanta. And then I went to high school, stayed in Atlanta for college, and then I moved back to LA. So all around.
So you was in Atlanta. Man, this would have been the Like all the Outcasts
in the 90s.
and all that was popping. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The year that I moved there, Southern Playalistic came out. And so, yeah, man, that Atlanta, I feel like, I don't even know if I would be a DJ if I hadn't come up in Atlanta, because all the music scenes that I got exposed to there, just really, changed my world and, just opened me up to so many new sounds and whatnot. I was really heavy into the dance hall scene and like the jungle drum and bass scene and the deep house scene. And of course, hip hop, but there was such a variety of nightlife and music culture. And I'm really thankful for that experience.
What got you to like, so me, like when I think of DJs, I come from the era where the DJ was bigger than the MC, right? Like, you had
right.
DJ Jazzy Jeff, Jam Master Jay, Eric B and Rakim, all of that, Grandmaster Flash,
right?
Going back. And so when I think of the DJ, I'm like, okay,
the OG.
What made you move toward being a DJ as opposed to sort of later in the years, the MC, the rapper became more of the focal point. But like, how did you get into the wheels of steel? Like, how did that happen?
So specifically, what led me into getting my turntables was listening to house and jungle drum and bass DJs. And the reason being, I love the hip hop DJs. I love the dance hall DJs. But the house DJs and the jungle DJs, when they were mixing the records, I mean, I didn't know what the mechanics of it was, but to me, it just sounded like it was magical. Like they would do these long mixes and it just sounded like these live remixes. And I don't know, I just wanted to be able to do it, and I was working at a spot called Wish. That's still there, I think, in Little 5 Points. And they had DJs in there on the weekends. And I put myself in charge of booking all the DJs so that I could basically, go practice on go play with the turntables and whatnot before they'd come play and that kind of jazz. And then I just put it out there. And I had a bunch of DJ homies and, I put it out there that I needed turntables. And somebody was like, oh, I have something you can buy. And, just organically kind of came together, but I never had the intention of being a club DJ. I was a bedroom DJ and that's what I thought I'd always be. And I was okay with that. I just wanted to make mixtapes for myself and for my friends.
Okay.
And then my friends that, knew that I was a bedroom DJ, they started having parties and they would basically force me to come play them. And that's when, I discovered kind of the world of playing out, which is very different, but they were digging it and I was actually having fun doing it too. And that's how it started. And then, once I started doing that more, then I started getting more serious about it. And, as far as, shifting from a hobby into a career and really, going somewhere with it. But yeah. That's how it went down.
How long was that transition from doing it as a hobby to deciding that, I want to do this professionally? Like,
right. Okay. So it was a few years. So I started in 98. When I moved back to LA in 2001, I started doing my own nights. And that's when I got my first residencies here in LA. And for sure, that's when, I wanted to be able to just DJ. And so I was bartending and working at the club. There was a place called Temple Bar, amazing live music venue here in LA. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was incredible. And that place just, they gave me my first shot. They gave me, I also bartended for them, but they gave me my first residency. And so when I was there, I was able to open up for, some of my favorite people, Raphael Sadiq and Joy and Damian Marley, and just Nika Costa used to play there all the time. And I ended up bringing Prince back there, once we had become friends, bringing him back there to listen to people. And, he really dug that spot too. And it was special, it was a special place, music wise. And yeah. And then, so I think that's that's when it really started. And then I decided to quit bartending and DJ full time. And then that's when the House of Blues residency happened. And right after that, I met P, and then that was it. Then it became a full on, it became a full on career. And
did you ever feel like, I know sometimes people feel like, you ever heard of like imposter syndrome, especially when you get around these really big, like Prince, and I know you've done stuff with like Bruno Mars and other people. Did you ever feel like, am I a real DJ, or, you know what I mean? Is that ever in those insecurities?
Nah.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, I know this is a new world of like people picking up the DJ thing or the DJ name, even just as, it's profitable now, right? So people are like, yeah, they're gonna make $1. Or because it's just like, it's cool. I've been doing this since it was not super cool. I've been doing this since it was like mad expensive. Like you had to use all your money for records and for equipment. And also you used to have to take your records
crates
everywhere with you, and crates. Okay. So like I have the bruises and the, the bad knees and everything else, as a result of that. And it's like, it was not easy. It was not, you had to really be dedicated to it at that time. Now, all you need is a laptop, and it's amazing, but back in the day, there was just a different level of commitment. That's also, that's a thought doesn't even cross my mind that,
I remember when
the imposter thing, because I'm like, I really do this.
That's what I'm saying. And I remember, talking to DJs that I do know. I remember when was it Serato came out, and it was always that whole thing about, oh man, you just going to be spinning the MP3s versus action to have the actual vinyl. Is that still a thing that DJs talk about?
Well, it's interesting because, on one hand, there is no doubt. Vinyl, it's so much warmer. You just feel it differently, but Serato, I was very late to get on it. And actually for the first, 2005, maybe like first 3 or 4 years that I was playing with P, I was still playing only vinyl. Oh. And then I switched over to Serato, and I was late on that, in regards to like my DJ peers. But then once I got on it, the beautiful thing about it is like, you just have a million records at your fingertips, and you don't have to, because with crates, you have what you have, and that's it. And that was its own special thing too, but just different. But Serato is amazing. What an incredible tool, and also it's opened it up so that, folks who haven't been collecting records forever and haven't been doing that, are able to get on and, and start DJing. So it's dope. But, I do prefer vinyl. I love vinyl. And now that this quarantine has happened, and people are DJing out of their living rooms and their studios and whatnot, I'm actually really excited because, and I just set my studio up, so everything's a hot mess, but I'm really excited to start going through my records, and I want to play some vinyl sets because now it's like, now that we're doing stuff for my houses, it's like super possible. I don't have to hurt my back to go play some vinyl, for people. So, okay. Yeah.
All right. I want to jump into another Prince related question. And well, first of all, you're immortalized in the Black Sweat video. Like that was a dope.
Oh man.
Right there.
So cool.
Talk to me about making that video. How was that experience?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Let me transport myself back there. There was a lot going on around that time. Obviously, there was the radio show and there was a movie being made.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about that afterwards.
All kinds of jazz. Yeah, for sure. And, so I just remember all of that I just remember the Black Sweat video being kind of wrapped up in that whole period. And we were doing parties too. So it was just kind of a part of that whole experience. And we were at this one particular house, which I just got to tell you, because I think this is so hilarious. So there was a few 3121 houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. No, I think maybe there was 2. Yeah. And then the next one was 77 Beverly Park. But there was the original 3121 house. And then when he moved to the next spot, he had the address changed to 3121, like just, the numbers on the door. And so people couldn't find it because it didn't exist, literally on that street. And so people would be like, wait, where's the, people would be so confused. And I just always thought that is hilarious. He's like, nope, this is 3121 now. So y'all figure it out. But anyway, in that particular house, that's where a lot of this stuff was happening, including the video. We shot it in the house. So, I just remember it kind of being wrapped up with all the other fun stuff that was happening at the time.
Now,
and Sanaa Hamri, directed. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Fatima Robinson, she was doing the choreography. It was really dope. Super dope.
Yeah, it was a dope look. Like really seeing some sisters up front in the video with Prince. That was needed. That was needed. So you mentioned the 3121 movie, and I remember, as a fan, I got the album, and you open it up, and it's saying something about 3121 movie. So we was ready. We was like, okay, where is this at? And it never came out, right? And I'm like,
that's a trip. I didn't even know that it was announced on the. I didn't know it was announced on the sleeve.
Yeah. It's
wow.
The album,
okay.
Yeah. So from your recollection, I don't know if you ever saw it or not, but do you know what it was about? Was there some sort of story or anything you remember?
Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this. It was over a few years. I saw the movie change. Like I saw, some of the content and I just saw it changing. So like it started off as one thing. And actually you should probably interview Senna, and she can, give you the full story. But I remember it started off as one thing, and then it kind of started to morph into another thing with some elements of the original idea. And it was something that was kind of being worked. I mean, from my perspective, it seemed like it was kind of sporadically being worked on at different times, okay. I would kind of forget about it, and then I'd hear, oh yeah, we're doing a scene for the movie. I'd be like, oh, okay, that's still happening. Okay, cool. And then it was just kind of changing. And, it's funny because the radio show, I have some footage from, the movie that, and I forgot about this until the radio show came up. But basically when the radio show didn't pan out, then P was like, okay, cool. He took the radio show and added it to the movie. And so there's some scenes where I'm like playing, DJ and talking to Ezekiel over the phone or whatever. It's like I'm in a radio station was the vibe that was set. And wow.
So you guys acted some of that out.
It kind of got transferred to that. Yes. Oh, wow. Yes, you want to call it that.
Was Katt Williams also sort of sometimes featured in the actual video part or not?
No. So it's just me talking to him on the phone and basically like replaying the audio.
Gotcha.
Replaying the audio, and then I'm acting out my part basically.
Okay, so that gives us a little something we can look forward to. Maybe one day the estate will bless us with that. The 30. I don't know. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say the 3121 radio. So we've had a chance to listen to this, and it's funny to me because I knew going in. I said, okay, they're going to have Katt Williams in there. What I found hilarious about it, aside from what he's saying and stuff, is I sometimes I couldn't tell if it was Katt or Prince, because they kind of have a similar that kind of tone with the voice, and I was just like, this is hilarious. Were you guys had to be laughing when you were recording that? Like,
Lord have mercy. I mean, I felt like I was pretty useless in some of those scenes because I as far as like I was supposed to be bantering with him, and all I could do was laugh. It was just like, this hilarious, So, yes, that's pretty much what I did through the whole experience was laughed.
What's it like?
A lot, so.
What's it like being in a room with Katt Williams and Prince? Like that just seemed like that'd be hilarious.
Well, I'll never forget when Katt walked in to the house, and I could just see, the twinkle in his eyes and like the energy. He was just so thrilled. And I'm pretty sure he also said it out loud, like, I can't believe I'm in Prince's house. Like, this is amazing. And that was very cool. And at that point, I considered Prince my friend. He was definitely at that point, mentoring me and just, wow, he he changed my life. And but at that point, that was my dear friend. So that was just, that part felt normal. Katt coming in, like I said, that was definitely, it was hilarious, but it was also just exciting because I could see how he was excited. He just kind of walked into that world and he had that excitement, much to like when I first met him, like I said, where it's just like, wow, I'm here in this world. And
right.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Now you said Prince mentored you. Like what did you walk away with being mentored by Prince? I'm very curious.
Oh man. Oof. That's a lot to unpack. Sure. Because there's so many different layers, but, just on the music tip, my God, the things I got to witness, the things I got to experience as a music lover. You have to give me a minute to even come up with the words to describe, what that means to me and what that's done for me. And then, on the business tip, he just, and as anybody who knew him well, or even just maybe just met him once, he loved sharing knowledge. He loved knowledge exchange. And that was one of his things. So it's whether you're talking about the business, the industry, whether you're talking about music, whether you're talking about God and your spirit, all of it, he would go deep. I've seen him go deep with strangers on that, so it just, I just honestly, I don't even know where to begin with all of the different things that I was guided with or guided on by him. It's just such a blessing. I'm always and forever in awe of it,
And you were around Prince for 10 years? You worked, working with him? Is that right?
2004 was my first gig, and the last gig was in 2014 right before I got pregnant. Yeah.
Okay. Man, so when you started working with Prince, is that one of the things that really sort of opened a lot of doors for you in the industry?
Oh, wow. Yeah, big time. Because like I was saying before, up until that, I was what I would consider just like an underground DJ or like a local DJ, and working with him, beyond touring and just being put on a whole different platform, being introduced to, I don't even know how many people that would have never seen me or heard me otherwise, so yeah, it changed everything. It changed everything.